Moving on to, I guess, achieving some organic success. As I indicated in that last module, last section where we talked about the architecture of Google, it's that bottom section that used to be at the top but is now below the fold. It is still very valuable to be there. So you've got to do what you can to land on first page in the organic search results. It's a really good result to get. I think the biggest tip out of it is really to be focused on specific search terms that are relevant to your hotel. So, you know, accommodation Sydney, while it'd be fabulous, if you're in the Sydney CBD, it'd be fabulous to land on first page for that search term, but maybe you need to be more specific about a street that you're in, accommodation in a street, because people do tend to search, you know, for that at times. They go, I'm staying here, so what's nearby? Or accommodation near a certain attraction. And if that's you, well then that, you know, optimizing for that search term might be more valuable than just doing a general search term. So the more you can narrow down your search terms, the more and optimize your site for that, the more chance you are of achieving some organic success. This is the evidence that I spoke about earlier, is that to me, it used to be 20% people would click on paid advertising and 80% click on the organic results. Well, here's some research from SimilarWeb to actually indicate that it's even gone further than that, where 5% won't click on the ads, but 95% will. So it's this little bit of a rock and a hard place where it would be great, and it is so important to be optimised for organic search results. But sometimes we don't run budgets big enough to actually spend the money we're meant to be doing. So again, we talk about hiring a pro, optimising for local search, being awesome, all that sort of stuff, because you get to do those key things, get the basics in place, but maybe you don't have a big enough budget to overthink it. And I think the tip around here is do what you can, but there's other things that we're covering off in this module that can also have an influence on your overall listing. You know, one little tip you can do that I've seen hotels do quite successfully is run a blog. So, you know, you hear a lot about content marketing, and that's a great idea. You run a blog around, you know, what's happening in the area. If you've got the resource to actually do that, that is a really good action that you can take that will increase your rankings and increase your organic search results. But it takes time and effort and resource. If you've got it, if you've got the skills and the people on the team, I would encourage you to do so. But you know, it's with care and consideration that you look at that avenue. There is an avenue to go there, but think about it carefully. So let's keep moving on through the rest of this module to talk about, well, what are the other things we can do? We've talked around Google architecture and local search. We've talked about organic success. Let's move on now to what we can do around our social proof. And we're specifically going to be talking about TripAdvisor.